I'm making ujuju soup today, and it is also known as Veronica comforter. So I'll be starting with my meat, but first I'm just trying to peel these onions. Onions is important to boil your meat in this soup. A lot of people get to say, oh, don't add onions to your native soup, and this is the eye I give them. Why will you not add onions to your native soup? Yeah? Not onions makes your soup nice. And it's very nutritious. Okay. So my meat in the pot. I'll be using about 5 pieces of goat's meat. I'll return this one so that I'll have space for the mangala and the snails. So I'll take my onions. Next will be my salt and seasoning powder. So I'll stay on that and light up my cooker. Allow it cook in its own water for a while before I add some water. So what next? I'm going to soak my mangala fish, soak it in hot water so that all that dirt and everything will go out. This is not like those my other dried catfish that I use that they bake in ovens. So this one I actually got from a village market in Edo State. So I have to soak it in hot water. Add some salt to it. I'll drop it in a corner, allow it soak before I wash it, before I begin to pick the ujuju leaves. One of the things you must know when plucking ujuju leaves is that you have to pluck it in a way that you can get the mid-rib or the mid-vein out. Yeah, especially for fresh ujuju. Now, for this one, because it's dried up, is it dried? It's kind of wilted in my fridge because it came from Benin like 2-3 days ago. It's been in my fridge waiting for shoot day. Yeah. The midrib is already very soft. The reason why you have to remove the midrib is because when you pound it, it might be strong and it will not pound well on time. So, but it's already soft, but I still need to remove it because that's how we were taught. If you know this vegetable in another name, maybe in your language, please let us know when you watch this recipe on Facebook, Foodies and Spice, Gina Foodies and Spice on Instagram and YouTube, Foodies and Spice. Okay, let us know if you know it in another name. I know it as ujuju, and I know it as iyeghe. The Ogbono people call it Agbo, and Anyocha people they call it ujuju. Benin people call it iyeghe. So you can tell me. Okay, so I'll need to add some water to this meat now. It has cooked in its own water for a while, so I'll just add water to the point I need to cook this food. So I'll take my onions. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to boil this ujuju leaves. Yeah, I'm going to boil it in hot water for about 3 to 5 minutes before I pound it in my mortar. Now, if you don't have mortar, you can use a food processor to pound it. Yeah, so I'm just going to light up my cooker. I'll just take the leaves and drop it into the water and I'll cover it to boil. So I'll add about 2 handfuls of Ogbono. For those who like to lose weight, Ogbono soup is very good for you and it's very, very nutritious as well. Yeah. For this ujuju soup, the Ogbono is going to aid the viscosity as well. So I'm going to blend the Ogbono. I already blended my crayfish, so Ogbono is next. So I have this trick here when you are trying to blend Ogbono in your dry meal, your blender dry meal, because it has this way of sticking to your blender and not moving, blah blah blah. The trick I've shown you here before is to add oil to your dry meal. Oil is going to go into the Ogbono anyway, so once you add oil to your dry meal, it will go faster, smoother, and whatever you are blending will blend faster and smoother. Yeah, so that's the trick. So I've added oil to this and you will see how fast and smooth this will work right now. So here we go. Our ogbono is smooth, easy. So whenever you are struggling in the house, your ogbono is not smoothing, you are using spoon up and down, just put the oil. You are still going to put oil in the soup, so why not? Just put the oil and you are good to go. Ogbono, very smooth. Okay, so that said, what next? Our ujuju leaf is still boiling. I just want to turn this side so that the other side will boil well. Okay, so here it is. It still feels very tough, so it should boil again very well. So I'm going to rinse out my mangala fish now. I soaked in hot water. I'll rinse it out. Now the thing is, once it's soaked, the fish become more robust. So, and I don't want these bones in my soup. I'm going to get the bones out, and that is my mangala fish. Okay, so my fish is ready, and I'll be adding it in a bit. But just before I add the fish, I'm going to add the ogbono first. Preceding the ogbono, I'll be adding Cameroon pepper. Now, if you don't have Cameroon pepper, you can use any dried pepper of your choice or any pepper of your choice, pepper to taste. And I have crayfish. This is about 4 to 5 tablespoons of blended crayfish. I'm going to stir on that. Then add my ogbono. That's about half tablespoon of ogbono. And I'll be adding the ogbono. I'm going to give it some time to boil. Right, so our ujuju leaves are ready now. I'll just sieve it. So I'll add it to my mortar and begin to pound. Now, some people get to add oil into the ujuju while pounding. So, but I won't be doing that because I already have oil in my ogbono. My ujuju, and just before I start adding it, I'm quickly going to add my mangala fish to this ogbono soup, and I'll be adding the okro, the snails. This is fine. I'm going to stir on that. So if you're wondering why I added the fish now, is because I actually soaked that fish in hot water. It's already dried fish, it's cooked. I soaked it in hot water, it's very soft, so I'm adding it now. If I had put it in the water since while it's boiling, everything will be scattered. So that's why I'm adding it now. And next will be, I'll be adding seasoning powder, fantastic aroma. So that goes in, I will stir it in. And next will be my ujuju leaves. Oh, my pot is so full, so I may not use up all the leaves. Now, another way for you to preserve your ujuju leaves when you get them from the village, or if you live abroad, you get them from Nigeria, is immediately you get them, you boil, pound, and after pounding, you put it in your ziplock bag and save in your freezer. So anytime you want to use it, you just store it and use, or you add it into your soup frozen like that. So that's another way to preserve it. All right, this soup is actually too full for my pot, so I'll just add a little bit more of the ujuju and save the rest for another day. So save it in a ziplock. So I'll allow it cook for about 3 to 5 minutes and this soup is done. Now, what do we eat with our ujuju soup? Ujuju is usually eaten with pounded yam. Where I come from, akpu with the cocoyam. iyeghe, that's what we call it, the cocoyam. I don't have iyeghe right now. They said I can't get it till like maybe towards December period. So my semo, you can always eat my semo. You will find semo in Lagos, find semo in America, everywhere. Wherever you're watching from, you can find semo. So, but iyeghe pounded with akpu is fantastic for OFE UJUJU. So let's get to it. Alright, so this soup is ready. It looks good. Fantastic taste. OFE UJUJU. Fantastic. Lovely. So I'm going to set it aside now. Soup done. I'll put that for corner. Oops, that was hot. Okay, that soup done. Let it be resting while I start making my semo. So it's time for my semo. Okay, so my semo is ready. Looks really good. It's not smelling like akpu, but you know that akpu smell is actually very special for traditional soup. But let's manage my semo today. Looks good. Now, time to serve. Soup done. I'm so happy. Ujuju soup. It's a delight. Veronica comforter. That's why they call it that. Now, ujuju soup is not called Veronica comforter for nothing. It's comfort soup at its finest. This is so lovely. The aroma that comes from the soup, especially when did you hear that noise that my throat made? Alright, my guest is Beatrice. Beatrice is enjoying her ujuju soup. Beatrice, what do you think?
I don't even know where to start from, but trust me, this is, what do I call it?
It's really
nice, yeah.
It just goes. Like you can hear the sound that is going. Just go. This is nice. Alright guys, it's been a fantastic day today. This is good, sha. Have you tried my okro? You know what okro is? The snail. The small snail. Baby.
I've been eating it since like very nice.
Beatrice, I'm not talking at all.
If you like this video, please give me a thumb up, share and comment. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do click on the subscribe button and notification bell to enjoy more of my recipes.